What up, everyone? We got a very special unboxing today. So we've got Cosmo Cube, and this is special because this is the first box they've ever done. They're a brand new company. So a little bit of a story, not necessarily about this company, but a backstory, a little bit about this channel, and a little bit about boxes. So bear with me for some story time. So, a while back, I was talking to someone on the channel, and they were telling me, like, you know, you should really hit these companies up and try to get some free stuff out of them, because you do a lot of advertising for them, so you should really hit them up and try to get something out of it. And that was a pretty good idea, but I kind of don't do that, and here's the reasons why. So when I first started the channel, I kind of tried to do that before I really had anything going. Tried to make deals with these companies like, hey, send me some boxes, I'll do some reviews. But nobody wanted to because everyone hated me. Everyone hated my channel because I was too honest. And companies, they don't want honesty. They don't want honest reviewers. They want bullshit. They want ass kissers. Like, that's what they want. And I wasn't willing to compromise the integrity of my channel for that. So I've been called many things on this channel, but sellout is not one of them. And that's not something I'm never going to be. Because if I do that even once, that's going to compromise the integrity of my channel, and then no one's going to want to listen to what I have to say, because then I'm going to be a total sellout and people are going to be paying me off. So I never want to try and hit up these companies for free stuff in exchange for just like an ass-kissing review. I'm always going to pay for these things out of pocket so I can give my honest review, because I don't owe anything to anyone and I'm not being paid off. The most I will ever do is the referral program, because that's reasonable. In my opinion, that's not selling out. That's just referring people and then getting a little something like a discount off my box. It's still never free, but it just helps out because I'm poor all the time. I'm very poor from these boxes. But anyway, so something else that's been happening is companies have been contacting me to work things out. And these companies are new companies that have contacted me. So people that are trying to start boxes, ones that don't already exist. And basically what's been happening, it's been happening a lot lately, especially the past month. These companies will hit me up on YouTube or whatever and say, hey, we've checked out your channel, we love your channel, we really respect your reviews and your opinion. We're wondering if you would possibly help us out and give us some of your opinions. And I say, of course, obviously I'd love to help you guys out, because this is what it's all about on the channel. It's about helping each other out. The whole purpose of this channel is to help you guys find the best box, but in the same time it's also to give my opinions out there to make boxes better. Most companies don't take it that way. They take my reviews as insults, which they never should. I'm never trying to be negative or hurt anyone. I'm just trying to give constructive criticism to make better boxes. So when people contact me for my opinion, yeah, of course, that's what I do. That's what I'm here for. So I'm happy to help out with stuff like that. So many companies have done this, and I give them the whole spiel in my email. I send them a long email, and I explain the 3 V's, the things that are important, things that I would look for, things to look out for, sometimes the basics of business if they ever are curious about that, and work it out from there. So I've helped quite a few companies. I would name them by name, but they don't exist yet. They haven't started their first box. This has been the only one that has. They came to me prior to their first box and just wanted my opinion. So we talked back and forth for a while, and I can only do so much via email. So I said, well, why don't you send me your prototype here, and then I'll give a review of it on my channel. And the thing about it was, they didn't ask for anything in return. They weren't saying, hey, we'll send you a box and you, give us some positive reviews and send people to our page or whatever. They didn't want any of that because they didn't want bullshit. What they wanted, they said, we don't want anything, we just want your honest opinion. We want to be a better company, we want to do better, we want constructive criticism. And I respect that. So very few companies do that, but this is one of them. So that's why I was on board for this, because I want to help these companies build and grow stronger. And so I'll give my honest opinion of that in hopes that they listen to it and they build from there. So I was really happy to be a part of that, and I'm really happy to help companies like this out. So that being said, let's take a look at what's in Cosmo Cube and let's give some constructive criticism, as I am one to do. So, in this box, first off, we got a mystery mini. This one had a theme. Let's go through the theme real quick. What is it? Galactic Heroes was the theme. So, Guardians of the Galaxy is an obvious one. Galactic Heroes, obviously heroes in space, so that totally makes sense that they put a mystery mini in there. This series is somewhat recent. It's not old by any means, so it's somewhat recent. The movie came out I think 8 to 10 months ago, something like that. So these have been out a little while. So I always say for mystery minis, I like it when they are a very current series. When they go back for older ones, it's just hard because if you did like the series, then you've probably already collected that figure. But if you didn't like it, then you didn't buy it for a reason. So for mystery minis, I always like it when they're current, the current series out there. But this one was fitting in the theme, and I appreciate that. So next, we got a micro mug. Yeah, micro mug. And this is Iron Man. I'll put a better picture at the end. But basically, it's just a little tiny figure, a little mystery figure in a little tiny box. There's a whole bunch of different versions of Iron Man, and there's 24 different ones. These are actually cool. I've bought these before. These are pretty old. These go a few years back. I've gotten a bunch of these, but they're really, really nice. They're just small little figures with all the different Iron Man suits, and they got Tony Stark. They also have like Whiplash and War Machine in there, so they're actually very cool. I actually like these, and the good thing is, I don't think a lot of people knew about these. Even when they were around, it was pretty hard for me to find them. You can still find them if you search for them, but I don't think a lot of people knew about them. So I like things like that, where it's like this, it's not like it was hard to find, it's not rare or anything, but it's something in there that you wouldn't see every day, that most people getting this box, it's probably the first time they're seeing it, and that's what I like. That's what I like to see. People think there's this unrealistic standard that they have to have something super rare and hard to find in there. Like, obviously that would be ideal, but it's just too hard to do that. So, that I do appreciate things like this that you don't see every day. You're not going to see in your average like comic book shop or in like Target or Walmart and stuff like that. They're not hard to get, but you would have to dig a little bit deep. And I like these. I obviously like small figures, so I think this is a very good choice. And again, keeping in with Galactic Heroes. Next, we got a pin. I've seen these pins come up a little bit. Again, I'll put a better picture at the end. It's just a little metal pin, but it looks very nice. It's just a solid like silver metal pin, and it's of the Avengers emblem. So yeah, I think it looks very nice in quality. And it comes with a nice little backing here. I've seen these come up a lot recently. So that works. Next, we have a pocket pop. And we got Captain America from the new Avengers movie. Now, again, I've said that I like the pocket pops better than the regular size one. I just like them for their size. You can have more of them. The bigger ones, they just take up too much space. I like smaller pop figures, so I definitely appreciate that. The only thing I thought was weird about it is that it was Captain America, and he's definitely not a galactic hero. Not only is he Earth-based, he's American. So I think they were going for Avengers, and I think Captain America just got put in there. But that's something they got to be a little bit careful of, because this is technically out of theme now. The Avengers are in theme, but Captain America specifically is one of the few that I would say like probably doesn't fit the galactic theme. But pretty much all the rest of them do. Thor does, Iron Man does, even Hulk. He goes to Planet Hulk in the World War Hulk series. So pretty much everyone is galactic except for Captain America. So I think he was just part of the Avengers and got put in there, so I understand why. But it's little minute details like that they just got to be a little careful of. Not a big deal, not a strike against him or anything, but just things to be aware of. Then we got a t-shirt. Let me show this off. And once again, I'll put a better picture at the end. Right here. And at the bottom it says, The Order. Now, it's very rare that I'm ever stumped by things like that, but this is one of those cases where I don't know where this is from. Obviously, there are characters on here from something. I just don't know where they're from. I don't recognize them at all. I tried to Google it, and I just couldn't find anything. So I doubt they're just like making up characters, because I don't think that would be a good idea, because it would be hard for someone to like something they're seeing for the first time that doesn't have a reference. So I'm sure they're from somewhere, and I'm sure it's probably some kind of parody or crossover, but I just don't fully recognize it, which is rare for me. So if anyone, when I post the picture, if anyone out there in the comments can like sound off and like mention like where this is from, that'd be super appreciated if you could definitely do that. But I do like the style. I like this, like, it looks hand-drawn because it definitely is. Like, someone obviously hand-drew this and printed it on here. But I do like that style, the hand-drawn style. Some things I will say about this, so I can tell by feeling it that this was an iron-on design. And I think they're doing that just for the first box. I couldn't imagine them doing this, continuing it in the future. But obviously everyone would prefer like the printed on design and not the iron on design, because you can feel it. Like, it doesn't like fold like a shirt. It feels like plastic on there. So, and again, I'm sure they won't be doing it again, but for the first month you can tell it's the iron on. And since it was iron on, it actually cut off some of the design there. So some of the splatters and lines on the design get cut off because you had to cut the piece of whatever it was to iron it on here. So it gets cut off a little bit. But other than that, they got, what is this, Anvil? So this is actually a decent quality shirt. So it's a little bit better than Gildan. Like, it's a little bit better fitted. It's not like a heavy cotton or anything. So that's decent quality for pick for a shirt. So I haven't actually tried it on specifically, so I'll have to see about that. But yeah, I'm very curious where this is from. They have their emblem on there, so you can tell this was done in-house by one of their artists there. But I'm so curious what this is from. And on that note, we have a poster in here of the same demeanor. So, this one again says the order, and then it has 2 characters on there. But again, I don't know where they're from. So, yeah, I'm super curious about it. And they should give more information about this. They put a card in there, but it gave a very, very basic description of everything in the box. And they need to go a little bit more in detail. Let's talk a little bit about that, though. So like I was saying, this card in here, they definitely need to give more information. Just like a brief description of things in the box. Because, like I said, for the shirt and the poster, I don't know where they're from. But I would love to know where they're from. So they should just give a little brief description. It doesn't matter, just tell us where these characters are from. Even if they were invented, just tell us a little bit about it. There's obviously a signature here in the bottom corner, but there's no info about the artist. I would love to know about this artist, just a little bit of background. Obviously, they're well known enough to put their signature, so just talk about it, even a name or something like that, so I can just look it up or do just a little bit of research on here. The only thing I would say about the poster, they did put it on nice quality paper, so it's actually on cardstock and not cheap paper. It was rolled very tightly. It was actually very hard to open. But so it's actually on nicer paper, which I appreciate. I hate it when they put it on like cheap printer paper and it comes all beat up. So this one arrived in good condition, which was good. The only thing, some recommendations I will give to them for the poster, as far as the design. So it's very obvious here that this was hand-drawn and then printed on paper. So a recommendation I will give to them, as an artist myself, I do my own artwork and I did my own prints. You're going to want to scan these into the computer and then do a live trace of them. It's going to look, you're still going to have that same picture, but there are definitely parts in here, I'll show a close-up picture, where you can tell that this was done by marker, because you can see the stroke marks of the pen. And that's something you don't really want in something like this, because you can see the overlay marks, you can see the stroke marks of a marker right there. When you scan it into Photoshop or InDesign or something like that, you're going to do a live trace and you're going to match the color, and that way you can make them smooth so you don't see any stroke marks from a pen, because that just shows a little bit of amateur work there. So anytime anyone prints a poster, I'd highly recommend scanning it and then doing a live trace. It's not hard to do, it doesn't take a lot of time, but it would make a ton of difference in quality. So again, this says the order on it. I just don't know what the reference is, but you can see, I can see a lot of the pen strokes on here, and as an artist myself, I notice things like that. So, but that's just me being nitpicky. But they did ask for constructive criticism, so I'm giving it. So that's something to be aware of when they're doing future prints. So anyway, so let's go through these items and give it a little bit of value. So first, we got our shirt. So this shirt, normally I give it the 12 to 15, but since it was an iron-on, that does hurt the value just a little bit, not a ton. So that goes down to 10 to 12, because then you're getting the blank shirt with the iron-on, which people can technically do from home. I got a little kit from Target the other day for like $5, and it came with a bunch of sheets on there for just like stick-on and iron-on designs. You put it in your printer and you put it on yourself, so I had to factor in the cost to buy the blank t-shirt and to just print something out yourself. So again, I highly doubt they'll be doing iron-on anymore. I think that was just a first-time thing, because one thing I've talked about with companies is the hardest thing any box is going to do is put out their first box. The first month is always going to be the hardest, because you just don't have any resources. Like, Funko's not going to make a partnership with you to do exclusive items. No one's going to sell you anything wholesale because you're a small business, so the first box is going to be the toughest. Value is going to be a major thing, and it's going to be really hard to do. So any company out there, the first box is always going to be the lowest in quality. And that's the same with everyone. It was the same with Collectible Geek. It was the same with the Loot Crate way back in the day. It's the same with everyone. Their first box is always going to be very hard to do. But every box after that's going to be better and better and better, especially if they listen to their customers and take constructive criticism like this company does, which again, I appreciate. But anyway, back to the shirt. So this one gets 10 to 12. Then everything else is pretty easy to value. Mystery Mini, $6. That's the value, no argument there. Then the Pocket Pop, these are $5. The Micro Mug, these sell for $3. They were $2.99, I believe, at Target, and they had tons of them there. That was a while ago, but I can't imagine they've gone up very much at all in price. If they have, maybe $1, but they're still mystery boxes. I still really like this though, because it's not something you don't see every day, but it's very small. It's just $3. Then our pin. This is a pretty nice quality pin. I'll put it around $5. That may be a little high in value. I've seen ones just like this at the comic store for around $4 or $5, so it's nice in quality. It looks very nice, so I think around $5 is a reasonable price. Then, our poster. So I'll put this at $2 or $3 because they did print it on nice cardstock, which I appreciate. But again, I would highly recommend doing a live trace, scanning it into the computer, smoothing out some of those areas with the pen strokes on there, and doing a live trace so there's no loose ends or anything on there. And also you're going to want to match the background color of it too, because you can see a definite line here from white to this beige background of whatever paper they were drawing on. So that's the recommendation I would have for that. So with that taken into account, on the low end we got 31, on the high end we got 34. So not a huge range there, because a lot of things in here were very straight to the point with prices. Now for this box, the price you will pay for this box is $25, which is actually fairly low. It's not the lowest by any means, but it's nowhere near like the high price boxes, so it's a little bit on the lower end, which we appreciate. So with that being said, you do get more than you paid for, which is really surprising for a first time box. And I'll say the same thing about this box as I said about Collectible Geek. Collectible Geek sucked their first month. The first few months, they were awful. You didn't get anywhere near what you paid for. You've lost money so many times with that company. But I said, I'm going to stick with this company because I see potential in them. They listen to their customers, and they're willing to work on the company. And they became a great company like 3 or 4 months later. Now they're putting out awesome products. Same thing with this company. I was very surprised we got more than we paid for. I was totally expecting to have lost money on the first box, getting less than you had paid, but you actually got more than, which was very surprising. I was pretty impressed by that. And this company contacted me and wanted honest reviews, which no one's ever done before. So I can really see some potential happening in this company, and I definitely see a bright future for them. So I would try and get on this thing. For doing my review, they said they'll give me a code to give you guys a discount. So I'm not technically getting paid for it, but you guys can get something from it. So they've given me a code to give out to you guys. If you want to use it, if you want to try this box out while it's still a young company, there is a code. I can't remember what it is. I think it's like a $2 discount or something like that. I'll have to go back and reference to it. So if anyone does want to do it, please try it out. But like I was saying, I do see great potential in this company. I really appreciate and respect companies that are willing to see my reviews for what they are, for constructive criticism and not insults. When companies take things as insults, it just looks bad. It looks bad on their company, and I see a bad future for them. And many boxes do that. I'm not going to take the time to go through them by name, but many companies do that. So I see great potential here. So, with all that taken into account, I'm going to give this box a 5.5. This was their first time box, and I definitely see them getting better with every box. So, you got more than you paid for. Some of the items were not hard to find, a little bit generic, so I'll look forward to seeing their improvements on the t-shirt and the poster, and I'm positive they'll have that around by next month. So things are still going, wheels are turning, so I'm very happy to be helping out these new companies. I love to do things like this, and I love to see these companies grow. So we'll see this box around, and we'll be checking in with this company. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the very first Cosmo Cube box. Let me know what you guys think. Refer to the description if you're interested in this box. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Peace.